If anyone out there still believes that the Premier League isn't the best league in the world, Manchester United 2-0 up. 2-0. Kevin scores an unbelievable goal for Fulham. And then Man United now have the belief, the mentality, which they didn't have before under Ruben Amorim. Michael Carrick has got them believing, fighting, playing until the very, very end. Benjamin Sesko off the bench makes it 3-2 to Manchester United. And they have now won 3 games in a row. They are back in the top 4. And this is the best Man United have looked for a long time. I know it's early on, and I know Man United fans are going to be very excited. They do probably need to keep their feet on the floor, but I understand the excitement. You've just beaten Man City comfortably in a game that should have been 3-4-0. They've just gone to the Emirates and beaten Arsenal, the best team in the league right now. And they've just beaten Fulham. They nearly threw it away, nearly ended a draw, but whatever reason now, they're actually playing. This isn't the same Man United team that we saw under Ruben Amorim now. Michael Carrick has got every single Man United player playing for that badge and prepared to run for a brick wall for him. And do you know what? Fair play. Fair play, because, Michael Carrick, I really do like him. Spurs player, very, very good midfielder for Man United. And I want all the English managers to do well. He goes into Man United and for the second time as an interim, and they actually look very, very good. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you do hit that subscribe button. The road to 100,000 subscribers is well and truly on. We'll be covering the Man City versus Spurs game very shortly. But we're less than 40 subscribers away from 88,000. So please go down and hit this subscribe button. I'll bring out the lineups up on screen. The first thing I want to say is, if anyone out there still does not rate Bruno Fernandes, then I don't honestly know what you're doing. 12 assists and 5 goals in the Premier League this season is absolutely obscene. The only big player that wasn't involved today on the score sheet was Bryan Mbeumo. Lemons, Dalot, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw. I think that is Man United's best back line for now. Casemiro, I think he's only got 8 or 9 games left at Old Trafford left before he leaves at the end of the year. But a very, very, very good win for them. And he was part of it with a goal and assist. They've given him man of the match. I'd give Bruno man of the match for me. I thought Bruno was the best player on the park. Kobe Mainu, bearing in mind this guy wasn't even getting game time under Ruben. Cunha and Mbeumo and Ahmad. And Leno, Robinson. I don't know why he was hooked off early. I know the substitute that come on, Kevin, actually scored a wonder goal. But I do actually like Robinson. I think he's one of the better left backs in this league. Cuenca, Anderson, Castagna, Iwobi, Berg. I can never pronounce this guy. Is it Chukwuemeka? I always butcher this guy's name. I apologize. I can't pronounce it. Emil Smith-Rowe, Wilson, and Jimenez. Man United go 2-0 up. The first goal comes from Casemiro. It's a penalty check. Bryan Mbeumo gets down the right-hand side. He is fouled. They originally give it as a penalty. VAR checks it. It goes to a free kick just outside the edge of the box. Bruno Fernandes puts a very, very, very good ball in. And there is Casemiro, arrives at the back post early, heads it straight across Leno into the back of the net. And that is 1-0 to Manchester United. Half-time comes in. I thought, Fulham were under the cosh for the first 25 minutes. That first half, I thought Man United were the better team. They grew into it towards the end of the first half. But Man United kind of dealt with the pressure. Half-time comes around. The ball in from Casemiro to Cunha. Cunha runs to the right-hand side, rifles it, absolutely rifles it above Leno into the roof of the net. And what a signing Cunha's been. But what a signing Mbeumo and Cunha have been. 17 starts for Man United. He's now got 6 goals and 2 assists. It's a really, really good return. Him and Mbeumo have been 2 very, very good signings. And Cunha, the last 2 or 3 games, has been very, very good. Scored a cracking goal to win it against Arsenal, had an assist rolled out against Manchester City, comes in today, goes out there, puts in a really, really good performance, subbed off for Benjamin Sesko. The first goal back is from Raul Jimenez. It's a penalty. When I first saw it, I didn't think it was a penalty. Ball's played through. Jimenez comes running out, and it's a collision between Lamons, Maguire, and Jimenez. They do give it as a penalty. It's a really delayed run-up. He kind of stutters twice but he puts it in the top left corner, down to the up to the keeper's right. Sorry, and it's a very, very good penalty. Take nothing away from Raul Jimenez. He actually had a relatively decent game. And then Kevin, the substitute, comes on in the 71st minute. Harry Wilson, very, very quiet, not his best game. Brian Mbeumo, worked his absolute socks off, but couldn't get that goal. Only had one shot, which was in the first half where he tried to lift it over the goalkeeper. But Kevin comes on and scores a ridiculous goal, the best goal of the match. And it's unfortunate because no one's really going to remember that goal now. Everyone's only going to remember the Benjamin Sesko goal. He comes on, on that left-hand side, cuts in, edge of the box, whips it, kind of like Morgan Rogers-like, over to the back post and into the side net. And it's a ridiculous goal. It really, really is. But the moment that won it was Man United bringing on Benjamin Sesko for Cunha. Ball goes down to the right-hand side. Bruno Fernandes puts it back in. I thought it was a poor touch, but he manages to get back onto his right foot and he rifles it into the top of the net and makes it 3-2 to Man United. And that was a very, very enjoyable game. Very even on a lot of stats. But the most important thing is Man United have won. They've made it 3 wins in a row. They're back into the top 4. They've got decent fixtures coming up. They will be playing us next. And I'll be honest, I do fancy them to beat us. I know we've got a decent away record. And I know we have got a very good record against Manchester United. But I do fancy them to beat us due to how bad we are right now. And Man United have now actually got the 3rd most amount of goals in the Premier League. Only Arsenal and City have scored more. They've now got 8 goal difference, which is only 1 behind Aston Villa. And with the run of games they're on, with the way they're playing, the Michael Carrick is kind of just gone back to basics. A very aggressive, flat back 4, 2 in a double pivot, which was Casemiro and Mainu, a 10, 2 wire players, and a number 9 that's prepared to run. And do you know what? Man United deserve huge praise today, but Michael Carrick deserves the most praise because, he has revitalised Man United. Back-to-back wins over City and Arsenal and now beating Fulham. They were in 6th place before today, but, they've gone out there. He's put, Bruno back into his best position, and you are seeing the best of him right now. 2 assists today. I think he got an assist against Arsenal as well, and I think he got an assist against Manchester City. Just a fantastic player. One of the best attackers in this Premier League, and probably based on current form, probably the best attacker in the league right now. But when I look at Man United today, when Fulham scored that second goal, I actually thought, that was it. It was going to end 2-2, but they carried on going. They carried on playing to the final whistle. When you look at the match stats, Fulham had the bulk of possession. Expected goals, Fulham were higher. Shots, very, very easy, even 13 against 14. Both had 6 shots on target. Man United edged the big chances. Passing accuracy is pretty even, 87, 90%, not a huge amount in there. But the most important thing is Man United are now back into the top 4. And as you can see right now, with their games coming up, I do expect them to beat West Ham, and I do expect them to beat us. And matey boy might finally actually get his haircut. Out of all of these games, I'll be honest, the way they're playing right now, Everton's going to be a tough test, man. Everton beat them at Old Trafford. West Ham's not going to be an easy game. They're playing well. They scored 2 goals against Chelsea yesterday. Before that, 2 wins or 3 wins on the bounce in all competitions. I do fancy them to beat us and West Ham. That Everton game is going to be really, really tough as well. But, we'll have to just wait and see what's going to happen with regards to their form. I do fancy them. I think they'll beat Newcastle. I think they'll beat Palace. Aston Villa, who knows? Aston Villa are very good at home, but I believe they lost today. And they've shortened that gap down to 4 or 5 points over between them and Aston Villa. But Man United look to be, I don't want to say they're back, but at the same time, they look a hell of a lot better than they have in recent times. They look very, very good right now. And to be fair, they do deserve it because they were the better team. I thought today. I know Fulham had more possession, but I did think that Man United were the better team. And if they can carry on this winning run of form, bearing in mind, today they played about one of their better players in recent weeks, which is Dorgu. But in terms of momentum, it was pretty even. I just thought Man United edged the chances a little bit better. And there's a huge game on very, very shortly, which is Manchester City traveling to Tottenham. That's going to be a really, really good game. You know, so far we've witnessed 2 red cards today, 5 goals in the Man United game. Hopefully there's a lot of goals in the next game as well. And hopefully we can actually get a positive result and somehow come out with a result against Man City. Bearing in mind the amount of players we've got out, I don't necessarily think that is likely. But we'll have to wait and see. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you soon. I'm out.